NASA as a whole entity has never claimed anything about UFO existence, but also never denied it. However, there are a number of space agency employees, including astronauts, who testified seeing unimaginable things that humans are incapable to perform with today's technology. When astronauts speak about their encounters with UFOs, they risk everything by coming forward. According to NASA, a newly created 16-member team would focus its investigation completely on declassified sightings and other data received from civilian, government, and commercial sectors. Astrophysicist Adam Frank says this study might not prove that aliens exist, but it would bring remarkable progress being made in the scientific search for life on distant planets. Despite this, let us look into the testimonies of these brave astronauts who risked everything to bring their thoughts on the existence of UFOs and aliens. McDivitt, a former commander of the Gemini 4 and Apollo 9 missions, passed away in Tucson, Arizona, at the age of 93 on October 13, 2022. In addition to the spacewalk, there were claims of something possibly extraterrestrial sighted outside the ship. Colonel James A. McDivitt witnessed 3 UFOs during his Gemini 4 flight in June 1965, which NASA attempted to downplay. He saw an unidentified flying object while flying above Hawaii on the second day of the operation. McDivitt ruled out the likelihood that the object was the second stage of the Titan rocket that launched the Gemini 4. One of the most commonplace theories he could think of was that it was a man-made satellite. Here are 2 different brief interviews, courtesy of Eyes on Cinema, in which McDivitt closes his conversation by stating that he believes extraterrestrials exist, and that we are not alone. Space pioneer Leroy Gordon Cooper, who died in 2004, believed in the existence of aliens who had been traveling from other habitable places to Earth. Cooper was one of the 7 astronauts of Project Mercury, the first human space program to get a man on the moon before the Soviet Union. He traveled to space as part of the manned mission Mercury Atlas 9, which took place in 1963. Then, in 1965, he set a new space endurance record by traveling 3.3 million miles aboard Gemini 5 to prove that astronauts could survive in space on a journey to Moon and back to Earth. Cooper said in an interview that he saw a UFO for the first time in his life in the early 1950s when he was posted at Landstuhl Air Base, West Germany. He said that during that time, Russian MiG-15S often flew over to his base. So once he was flying at 15,000 meters and saw strange vehicles that flew in formation much higher and faster than their aircraft. He claimed that they were disc-shaped with metallic casing. They were flying quite high, how high we couldn't tell because we couldn't get anywhere near their altitude. In 1957, when Cooper served as a test pilot at Edwards Air Force Base in California, he saw a flying saucer with a diameter of about 10 meters that hovered nearby and landed on the dried lake. He said, "I had a camera crew filming the installation when they spotted a saucer. They filmed it as it flew overhead, then hovered, extended 3 legs as landing gear, and slowly came down to land on a dry lake bed. And when they got in fairly close, it lifted up, put the gear back in the wheel, tipped up, and took off at a great rate of speed. After that, Cooper sent the recordings to Washington and filed a report of the UFO encounter." The legendary incident that happened in 1947 was indeed real, according to moonwalking astronaut Edgar Mitchell. "Make no mistake, Roswell happened. I've seen secret files which show the government knew about it, but decided not to tell the public," claimed Edgar Mitchell, Ph.D. Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell became the 5th and 6th astronauts to walk on the moon's surface. He accused the U.S. government of hiding the truth about contact with aliens. According to Mitchell, he once had a confidential conversation with a Navy admiral who secretly told him that, in fact, aliens had established contact with the government back in the early 1940s. They were interested in earthly weapons, primarily the atomic bomb. In another interview, Mitchell claimed that his words were distorted by journalists. Michel, who claims he briefed the highest members of the Pentagon, says the reality that there was an advanced civilization that could penetrate our air defenses at will, and that we could not stop them in any way, shape, or form, immediately doomed the Roswell incident to become one of the greatest cover-ups in history.